for all ages, right here on Gaming Division. I am Kamurai here talking about games, things, and stuff that I've been up to this week. I took a moment. I'm having trouble getting over it. Geek and Sundry, we know them from tabletop. We know them for their D&D campaigns. We know them for Felicia Day, in particular, and Will Wheaton, probably more than any of the other two people who are involved with them. But Jesse Cox, who has recently gone independent, is there with a show with Jessica Marzipan called Super Awesome Party Time, Super Fun Awesome Party Time, something like that, where they are taking older games like the board games that we grew up with that were honestly kind of shitty, and revamping them, rebooting them, and adding cool things to make them interesting for adults now that have nostalgia for them then. This week's episode was Operation, and every time they buzzed it, they got squirted in the face with blood or fake blood or whatever you want to call it. And then the losers got carried. Essentially, they got fake blood poured over them. Totally worth watching. Check it out. The video is only like 7 minutes and 40. They're not taking a long time with it. It's a speedrun game of Operation, so they're on a timer the whole time, and it's all about their anxiety or whatever. It seems like a lot of work for such a short amount of time and such a short video, but they're doing it, and it's only the second episode, so I'm hoping to see where it goes and if they can keep up the momentum. I'm really enjoying that. See, of course, tabletop, LARPs are both on things. Got a couple cool opportunities. Felicia Day rotates in and out because she's a busy person, actress, etc. So they had lovely girl Josephine, or named Jim. I don't know. Ryan kept saying Jim, so it must be true. No, I really like her on there. She seems to have like a lot of good personality. She gels really well against Ryan, like not with him. But there's kind of like a fun banter there that like very similar to what he and Felicia do, but they have so much history. It's fun to see him do it with someone who's not his sister, because it's just a different flavor, and that's good. It's very much like ice cream and pizza sauces or spaghetti sauces or whatever it is. You have the best flavors, not the best flavor. Let's see here. This Wednesday on twitch.tv/mayhem_muse, yours truly will be on the stream with Jen, Mayhem's Muse herself, Mika Nicole, Daniel Deverona, Actor, Jeffrey, and Nick, along with Andrew. Yes, that's right, Actor is the other. I don't know if Andrew's going to be there or not. He suggested a one-shot campaign that I may or may not participate in a later date, so that could be fun. But I'm looking forward to D&Ding it up with them. I gotta just check in on my character probably tomorrow night and make sure that he's ready to go. I don't have to like level him up or anything stupid because I still have to level up my barbarian for the patron campaign for the Weirdlings. If that's ever going to happen again, I don't know. For all I know, I'm not invited back. I don't know. Rooster Teeth Game Club is only at the beginning of the month, and we're about halfway through, so it is time near. Last I talked to Brandon, he is behind on doing Twilight Chorus, but he's working on making it a better production, which was the whole point of me trying to help him out at all. So I'm happy to hear that. So that'll be good stuff. Dominion Estlin would normally come on right after this, but it happened last night, new episode, so check that out when you get some time. I find myself hard-pressed for that time slot, but the VOD goes up on YouTube. Perfectly simple to watch that. And it does replay next week, so you're not going to be behind, because it's 2 weeks. So finding 3 hours, or 3 or 4 hours every 2 weeks is actually much. Of course, Secret Hitler Sundays. I haven't got to watch one of these in a while over on youtube.com/totalpalabit. But I remember how much fun the first couple were, and I I just need to throw it on like SoundCloud or whatever it is, listen to it. Because watching the game, like I don't think I ever watched. I just listened to it, the video while I was working. So I could totally just listen to those if I download and just listen about the audio and just listen. Maybe actually the way to do it. Um, but I want him to have views because that is important for them to get the views. So let it run in the background on mute or something. Whatever your solution to that problem is, go for it. I'm gonna real quick say mobile gaming. It is I've obliterated from my phone. I'm trying to look at my phone less and less as an entertainment device and something that like I need to handle. So every time I have idle time, I can go to my phone and be like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. And mostly it's manage email now. I've been trying to reduce that greatly, and I have not been able to keep up with it. But I really need to. So I'm gonna find a way to get better. Have to be that. Minecraft. Okay, so a while back I flipped the table. I was playing around on this on my mod server and I was enjoying it, but um, like I was really the only one hanging out there for the most part, and it wasn't spawning like I wanted it to spawn. Like I like Mo creatures for the creatures, and I wasn't getting any creatures around the main base. So through that noise, I need to fix this. And now I'm not getting the sea creatures I want. There's dolphins, but I'm not seeing jellyfish or rays or. I'm seeing a lot of squids. So I have to figure out if there's a way to fix that or not. There's got to be a way without flipping the table again. But I've been playing with MC Edit, and I'm really super excited about that because it's letting me do the things I need to do. So when I created this last new world, it was like I'm just gonna make everything anyways. That'll take enough time. With no one is helping me, so I'll just do it. And that way, when someone does log in, there'll be this big bastion there, and they can log into a safe city, and no one has to worry about anything. They can go out and adventure on their own. So I'm gonna do like 2,000 blocks out in all directions. Try to do roads and an underground rail system, which will be fun because I'm gonna have to sort out how to do the switching. And then I'll install like a village and like a big portal or something to do the machines and such, so that I can naturally, without doing a administrative privilege, building kind of resource hub. Because I'm gonna set up all the farms for sure, but I think what I want to do for the farms is I want to make them automated, so that like you only have to do the planting side. Um, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can set up your farm so that you can like drop water on them and it'll wash all the crops down into a funnel, and then you attach the funnel to a chest, and then like all of your crops will collect, go into the thing. The problem is that you after you do that each time, you still have to go onto the ground on the farmland and replant everything. So there's limited viability there, and you've got to sort out how you're going to connect a switch to the water. A lot of people just do like long rows, and then they do cascading water. But I want to do like squares. I'd really like to still do like a food tower. I may or may not actually do that this time around, but it would be interesting to do a food tower where each floor, when you hit the switch, it runs up the side of the building, activates all the floodgates, and then all the floodgates hit, wash all the food to one corner, and it all drops down into the same chest. So that's what I want to do. I don't want to just automate each section. I want to automate each section with an option to automate everything at once. So we'll have to see how to do that. And then I probably want to do like 3 wheat fields for what I'm doing, so that you get like a piece of bread for every time you harvest. That'll be another thing entirely. So I'm gonna play with MC Edit. I'm gonna flatten out like a huge chunk. I'm gonna make the bastion 500 by 500, and so that'll be the plan is to have like a full city and farmlands and stuff, and maybe even a zoo. Actually, would be really interesting. Proper zoo inside the bastion. Um, but it would be nice to do like an inside city where you don't actually have to be near walls. Um, I don't know if I'll go as far as doing a marketplace, but I will do the public inn and warehouse and stuff like that. Same fun old things. Um, let's see. I will circle back to that because talk about our gaming goals I met this week. Um, over on the weirdlings.tv slash I'm sorry, twitch.tv/weirdlings. Mary had declared that she was going to do a 12-hour stream, and I kind of called bullshit at first. And then I thought she had a problem, and then she explained she didn't, and I was like, if you're gonna do that, I'll match you. I'll be supportive friend is what I was aiming for. I don't know if that's what it came off as. But so I counter streamed against her on my channel here in Gaming Division and our channel. Um, and so I started with Star Realms because I wanted to finish that off. So it was done with because I'm trying to whittle away things that aren't on Steam so that I can just look at Steam. And I realized that I have some longer games that aren't on Steam or even Origin that are just like discs that random installs. And then I saw Warcraft 3 sitting there and I was like, I want to play you, but I want to play Warcraft and Warcraft 2 first. So I actually went and looked it up. I'm gonna have to order it, probably, and just so that I have it, so I can do whatever with it. But there's a battle chest you can get that gives you all the orcs and humans and uh, the Tides of Darkness and the Beyond the Portal expansion. Which, if you don't know anything about Warcraft, like orcs, orcs used to be good guys, and like humans used to be just guys. And then like the demons started invading and infected the orcs with bloodlust, and like that was the thing that made the orcs evil. So that they attacked the humans. Like that caused that whole. So there's still sects of orcs that aren't bad, like in pockets throughout the universe. But I think game wise, that's why all the orcs are bad. I think all the good orcs ended up getting killed off by either humans or the bad orcs because they were really outnumbered. Tux, I don't care how much you want to come on camera. Just sit right here and be pretty. Promise. On camera. So I played Star Realms and then I got done with that, but I was so tired by the time that was over. I kind of wasn't ready for the new game, so I was like, I'll throw in Kill Team, and I forgot until it started loading up that like it's got like some bugs and stuff in it, but it's still a fun game. So I ended up playing that. I ended up beating that, and I ended up beating that like right as the stream was ending. And I went and played Minecraft for a little, just working on my design for what I was going to use to get it. So I did do a little bit of stream. And fun fact, I left that stream open, and I came back in less than clothed capacity, and then realized it was on and turned it off. So I apologize if you came by and just saw like an empty room on the following Saturday, but I was asleep. I slept like all the way to like 3 or 4. And then I didn't make game group because Saturday's fucking crazy day to try to do that. Saturday during the day, I get. Saturday night, no. It doesn't ever work. I don't do anything. Not like that anyways. But Sunday, what was planned for Sunday is we were going to get up early, and which didn't happen because we all slept in. And then we barely got up in time. We started prepping, and then we just kept prepping and hanging out and having a good time. So we started late, but we played Super Dungeon Explorer on the mod finally. We finally played a full game. And there was only one error in the mod, and it wasn't even in the mod. It was on the files on the server. So I updated the files, and they're fixed now. So hopefully no one will complain about that. Yeah, it was really interesting to play a full game with it and see what the problems are. The biggest problem were that they were trying to play off laptops that are slightly out of date. So they started chunking along, especially after a couple hours. So the longer we were on, it seemed like the slower their computers got, which made us stay on longer, which made their computers slow. So it was really kind of a shame that like it ran as long as it did because I think the like God, what was it? 8 hours. I hate saying that about that game, but we ended up on stream for 8 hours, and we hung out for a little bit before, and we hung out afterwards off camera. Um, yeah, 8.5 hours is on stream. I hate that that's what it was, but that's what it is. And it could have gone faster, but we were trying to get used to it again. It's very awkward to try to play on tabletop simulator when you're used to playing in real life and all that. Um, and of course, I always blame I always blame the players, but I definitely had some delay moments there too. But it really comes down to how often your players talk to one another, or how long they talk before they go and do things. They're constantly picking things up and go and go and go. You can play through rather quickly, and I say rather quickly, but it's still like 3 hours. I used to be able to play the first edition. I seem to be attached to the floor here. The first edition in 2 hours by myself. That means there's no deliberation on if we're gonna do this or this or this. I was just pretty much moving models, and I've got videos up on Gaming Division for that. That I played live with the real models and everything. So you can go see that, and it's still a couple hours, but it's a great game, and I really love it. If you play D&D, you should be able to find this time frame acceptable, because it's really just extended battles. This time around, it's so heavily favored to the heroes that I'm actually having problems with. I really don't know what I could have done to kill them better, because with especially the Royal Paladin, that little fucker, jeez, it just really was a pain in the ass. The I would kill like whoever they were. I'd get them down to 1 hit point, and then God damn it, they would by the time I got back to it, they had managed to heal up and and like get their potion back at the same time. So it's really frustrating as the console sometimes to do that. But of course they deliberated and they spent like a good amount of time picking out their troops. I think the next time they play, because it's my friends who are husband and wife and they're great. I think we're gonna make them play randomly. They're gonna pick heroes randomly as long as it's not we all agree it's not a shit show. They're gonna go with it. And I'm banning the Royal Paladin. They don't get it next. It's by far the single worst card for me to play against as the console. Not happy with it at all. So like I'll delete it or whatever before they get in the game. It's fine. But we did play with like one of the new heroes from the Ninja All-Star set, which is Mochizuki's character, the Hidden Infiltrator. So that was really interesting to see that one in action. We spent a good amount of time discussing like the elemental affinity that card has, because you get to pick a power at the beginning of the game. Because she gets to be essentially a Kanochi from one of the different clans or with a different elemental affinity. So like you can pick immune to status effects, which is predatory, which is attacks of opportunity, flying. There's a lot of good stuff you can, and depending upon that in real life, you want to pick different models, for to put on the board, because why not? Especially if you bought the models, show them off. Especially if you painted them. God, if you painted them. But I'm so super happy to play a game of that. I don't like that it took that long, but we'll get faster and better at it, and I'll be better at yelling at people to hurry up and take their turn. And we figured out like some little neat tricks and tabletop simulator, copy and paste dice, so you can actually make little groupings and roll the group. And I think that will help speed it along a lot. If you set up the game before you start, I think that will save you a lot of play time. If that like just set it up and be like, okay, I know that we're gonna do this. I'll wait for them to pick heroes, but this is what's happening. I try to keep it random so that I don't just pick on Drac and do undead all the time. Um, and then I was setting up for one game, and I was like, I want to do demons, but there aren't a lot of demons available. So I'm hoping that one of the new expansions, Dungeon Legends, uh, is like helps fix that because is an opportunity in some of those characters. I just don't know what all the cards are. And I hope they put out a Deranged Alchemist pack. Like I actually want to buy physical cards, because I don't. And of course, the only an arcade version. I only have the pictures for the. I think it's the one thing in there that's I regret having in the mod because I don't own physical copies of it. Because the whole idea to me is just I want to be able to take the games I have on my shelf that I've bought, that I paid for, that I've supported the companies, and play with my friends across the world. Because if I could have bought that shit digitally in a properly managed software, I would have done that. 100%. I'd much rather play digital board games than real ones. But I'd like to play them with people and socialize somewhat. And I realize that gets a little sketch in the internet space. But I don't mind going to my local game store, supporting my local game store, which I need to do. I'm due for it. I apologize, Brandon. And go from there, and socialize with people in the flesh, in their meat sacks, which really can be fun. I do suggest it, at least from time to time. They finally sent me, or no, I take that back. They sent me the replacement packs and the missing promo cards that I had for my Tano Curry big box. And I filmed a little PSA thing for that to put in the video. So I'll get around to getting those finished cutting. I linked up the Ninja All Stars one, which is the hardest part because it's like 4 tracks you all got to sync up. And then once I go through, I'm just like, oh, well, then I obviously want this section and this section and this section. But I'll go through it and I'll take a couple passes. But they finally sent me the replacement cards. I was actually missing one of the promo cards, and I emailed her and I let her know, but I was just thankful that it got there. And you can only play with one of the private maids game as it is, so it's like, it's just fluff to have the other. So that's what I'm going to do. Actually, after I get off here, I'm going to grab that box and I'm going to sort it out properly and get everybody in place. And that'll be what it is. So that'll be fun. I actually want to white box that game. I hate saying that because that's such a cool box, but I'd much rather that just be a display box than I put all the cards in a white box and go from there. And I really wanted that box for the randomizer cards. It wasn't worth paying $50 just for the randomizer cards, so I'm glad I got the big box as well. But I would have paid probably like $20 to $30 maybe for the. It's so sad to admit that for the randomizer cards because trying to take one of each of those things and randomize it is a bitch. We used to do it with Dominion just to see if the randomizers were necessary. And we finally figured out, like, yeah, you really, after like 2 expansions, you really don't want to individually grab from piles of 10. Then have to put them back. That's a real bitch. One way and then whatever. So I was so happy about that. Japanime Games, their warehouse team is amazing. I'm so happy about that. They just wanted to make sure that I was happy, and I just wanted I wasn't asking for extra shit. I was actually really concerned about them sending out a second issue of the promo cards and replacement cards, because that's what I ended up getting was the replacement of the replacements, because the first one, I don't know what happened to it. My friends said they forwarded it, so I have to check with them what actually happened with that, because I never got it. And I found out on March 10th. It was the last day of the Kickstarter. They were closing it, and I saw the bloody thing. Such a pain in the ass that I missed that Kickstarter, because I probably would have thrown another $300 at them, sadly, just to make sure that I got in for that, because it looks like another sweet deck building game. I really like the concept, because the point cards, or the winning cards, or whatever you want to call the princesses, are on the table, and you're bidding to promote them. You build your deck in order to promote the princesses, campaign for one, and then once you're campaigning for one, eventually, once you meet the threshold, you can announce a coronation day so that she can become the new empress. And as long as no one else announces a coronation day, then so there's like definitely some interesting looking mechanics and some permanence on the board. I've always enjoyed the idea of that and naturally cycling things out of the deck in a deck builder, because that is the biggest problem to me, is having your deck saturated. Because a lot of people feel like they have to buy something every turn. You don't. But if it deck's weak, it stays weak if you don't buy things. But if it gets weaker when you buy things, you don't want to do that either. So that's why like my deck builder has a large level of permanence built into it, and got a fun cycling, so that if you're spending a lot, you're cycling a lot, but if you're not, then it's cycling faster. So it's quite interesting to see that. And I may actually have to institute a waiting period. You have like your draw pile, your discard pile, and your waiting period. um, so like if after you play, it goes to the waiting period for a turn, and then you go from in play to waiting, take your waiting to your discards, and you're out of your draw, you cycle up your. So that if you just get your deck down to like 5 cards, you're not playing the same 5 cards every turn. You've actually got to really weigh out what you want to do. So that actually is a really good idea. I just thought of that now. That's not built into the mechanics currently, but I'm gonna have to make up some dummy art for that. I may take some of the art that I actually already have and throw it on there, just a couple of the sets. But I'll make some dummy art eventually until I can get someone good at it, and I'll make some tabletop mods. They're not out yet, but in the future, if you want to get at those, that's my plan. I think at this point, as much as I love Gamebox and programming that out, I have not gotten to it recently. It's kind of bumming me out that the thing that I did and not something that I'm doing. And the fucking trigonometry issues I'm having with rotation are just gonna be such a bitch to go back and understand. I'd much rather spend the time doing other projects and forwarding, or not forwarding things, but making progress with them, than trying to put my head against the wall. I wanted to talk about last week, but I didn't have Sid. I wanted to wait a week, and then I don't have Sid again. And then we had the extra long Explorer stream. So I got to talk about it eventually. AR versus VR. They're two very different things. I heard Danielle over on Fem Service talk about Pokemon being VR, and it's not. There is no Pokemon VR. There should be. There really damn well should be a Pokemon VR Snap, where you literally are just going around a huge safari park or something like that, where you go around, you investigate Pokemon in the natural or in the wild or whatever, and like I don't know, maybe you can make it where they can kill you. I don't know, up to Nintendo, but go around, you snap pictures of them, or you like maybe some of them are in enclosures or something, or on fence. Maybe you can find a break in the fence, which you can investigate. Go in there with the Kangaskhan, Scyther. Like, is that somewhere where you really need to be? Maybe we bring back the bubble ball thing. A little monorail that goes around the safari zone. That would be good. It's an endless amount of possibilities that Nintendo's not capitalizing on, and they should have done with the Wii U with that stupid pad. Should have just made that the VR device. Like, that's the camera. Yeah, VR. The VR is when you have a virtual environment that you're planning real people in. It's almost the opposite of that. The AR is where you take a real environment like room, your house, whatever, and you're inserting digital entities. So where you see like the Microsoft not Surface. Forgot what it's called. They debuted it like at E3 or whatever. Oh God, what is it called? Not Arc. Uh, Augmented reality. That's what AR stands. Um, because it was a really amazing HoloLens. That's what it is. Really amazing demo, but that's the sort of thing that you that's the sort of thing that is AR. Like totally, that's what's going to become real popular. That's what Pokemon Go is supposed to be. And you take your phone or your glasses around, and you just in real places with Pokemon, and you take their picture. That's AR. That's augmented reality. And there's a lot of stuff that already does that now because it's actually a lot easier to do than VR because it takes a lot of work in theory. To me, it's almost more impressive to have a digital thing interact with real life because that's essentially the premise between getting AI senses, letting the AI be able to read the room and manipulate the coffee table, um, read facial expressions, anything like that. That's what's super impressive when it comes. So giving AI Android body is one thing, but it like giving it senses would be entirely another thing because start blurring the line between Android and human, the public's gonna lose its mind. Um, let's see. Future gaming, of course, Minecraft. I'm gonna play with MC Edit a lot. I want to do it tonight, but I've got to watch a movie for hashtag We Are Movie Club on Wednesday, and I did not do it this week. I'm so busy with gaming. And for once, gaming's got to get out of the way instead of life, so that I can do a project. I'm gonna watch The Voices. Watch that and yell at us on at We Are Movie Club on the Twitters. Go for it. Let us listen out for it over on YouTube.com/We Are Movie Club, or you can find it on SoundCloud. And trouble remembering what my SoundCloud is. hdkb.podbean.com or soundcloud.com/hdkb. So yeah, Gaming Division doesn't have its own thing, but we do more gaming here than anything else. It's really just the play spot that goes. It's still working on a super secret project that's not a secret at all. So there's that. I don't know if I ever mentioned it. I got through the Exodus rule. Like the Nebula are really they're not dragging me. I tried to get through them, but so once I still gotta get through Daybreak for Battlestar Galactica. Hopefully, we'll just do a quick. I managed to box it all together, and I managed to find a way for that to work. So I'm happy about that. Ninja All Stars. I keep picking up the rulebook and like I put it in the bathroom for a little while, and it looks less complicated than Blood Bowl, but the rulebook's just as big, so it's always intimidating to pick up and try to get through. So I really need to set aside some dedicated time and be like, I shall learn you. And I did a little bit of work towards the tabletop mod, but I need to scan the boards properly. Pain in the ass for the Super Dungeon boards. I really don't want to do it again. I may have to anyways and just suck it up. And then I was like missing a card or profile. I gotta grab the box and figure out that real quick. Super happy with the tabletop simulator for Dungeon Explorer Forgotten King. It's not laid out like the other mod that's out there, but there's another option for everybody. I like not having all the shit everywhere. So when you open mine, it's just baggies outside, and you set up however you want. And then I suggest you save a preset that way, and then that would be my suggestion. Of course, I don't think you get updates if you. We'll just have to work on it. I do want to make the cards more legible. I was actually kind of upset about the quality, but that actually doesn't involve me changing the mod. It just makes me I just have to reload the files. What I may do is go back to the original sizes and then go to 3/4 scale instead of half. That may actually give us a readable, not crash your computer. But being that my friends are barely able to do it on their laptops, I have concerns. I have concerns. That's all I'm saying. I have concerns. No. I have to yell at Sid about gaming together, but of course she's working on the Super project that's not a secret. So there's that, and then life gets in the way. Whenever you want just relax and game, life gets in But that's what it is. When life is getting in the way of itself, you get that urge to go away, escape, and game for a little, happy about life, and then you can come back to it and be well then. But if you're fortunate enough to enjoy life all the time, like I don't know, like making a Cole, so he's a light in the sea of darkness. I swear to God. But I am looking forward to trying to involve more people. Uh, as I get better about introducing people to the idea, then we'll do that. I think that's everything. Gotcha. How long have we gone? Yeah, over a half hour. If it's just me, I think I'm gonna start doing like half hour. I think if I've got another person, I can stretch to an hour. I probably could stretch this to an hour, but I think I would have pandered a lot. Yeah, I just don't think it was worth it for you or me. So I do hope you have a wonderful day. Get some gaming in. Let me know what you've been gaming with, because honestly, I would like to hear about that. At Kamurai on the Twitters. Yep, yep. I pointed to the right side, looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, hit us up there. And hey, I am Kamurai. Till you see me next time, that's game over. Want to see anything else we're up to? Go ahead and click the annotations. Take you to our other channels. Thanks for watching.